So what came first? Thoughts of an electric car or thoughts of space?
You know, when you're starting out in college, like in your freshman, sophomore year, like you have these sort of sophomoric philosophical wanderings. And I try to think of, okay, what are the things that seem to me would most affect the future of humanity? There were really 5 things, 3 of which I thought would be interesting to be involved in. The 3 that I thought were definitely positive would be the internet, sustainable energy, both production and consumption, and space exploration, more specifically, the extension of life beyond Earth on a permanent basis. And then although I never thought I'd actually be involved in that. That was really something I thought that was important in the abstract, but not something I thought I would ever have an opportunity to be involved in. And then the 4th one was artificial intelligence, and the 5th one was rewriting human genetics. These were just the 5 things that I thought would most affect the future of humanity. When I started out, my goal was to do a philanthropic mission with the intent of increasing NASA's budget. That was my goal. I was confused as to why we'd not yet sent a person to Mars. It seemed like this was obviously the goal after the moon, and we'd not made progress on that. And when it became clear like that paper was going to get sold, a friend of mine asked me what I'm going to do next, and I said, well, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm always curious about what's going on with space and why have we made progress. I just wonder when we're going to send a person to Mars. So I went on the NASA website, and I couldn't find a date. I was like, well, maybe it's here somewhere, and I just can't find it.
The date that NASA wants to land on Mars.
Yeah, there's got to be like some schedule or something.
You're looking for that.
Game plan, or it's this date, even if it's far in the future, and it was not to be found anywhere. And anyways, I sort of started learning about that back history, and I thought, well, okay, maybe there's something that I can do to send a small mission to the surface of Mars that would get the public excited, and as a result of that public excitement, NASA's budget would be increased, and we could resume the process of sending people to Mars. Essentially,
so you thought you can do that with your lousy $1 billion?
No, I didn't have $1 billion at that time.
Okay.
I had about 180 million, still a lot. And I figured, well, maybe I could spend half of that on a mission to Mars. So I spent a fair bit of time investigating the space industry and eventually decided on this idea of sending a small greenhouse to the surface of Mars. And we called it the Mars Oasis mission. And so you have seeds in dehydrated gel. It would land, you hydrate the gel upon landing, and you'd have this great shot of green plants on a red background, and the public responds to precedents and superlatives. So this would be the first life on another planet, the furthest that life's ever traveled, as far as we know. And
that's how you get a headline.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be something new or something superlative. And I thought, well, okay, and that would maybe reinvigorate excitement, and the result would be NASA's budget gets increased. So the whole goal in the beginning was just, how do we get more money for NASA? But after spending a fair bit of time on this, I came to the conclusion that I was actually incorrect. My initial assumption was wrong, because I thought that where there's a will, there's a way, and that we just sort of lost our will. That's false. There's plenty of will. People needed to believe that there was a way, and a way that would not bankrupt the country or mean that they'd have to sacrifice something of critical importance like healthcare. So it became clear that the space transport problem had to be solved. Unless there was a dramatic improvement in the cost of space transport, then none of it would matter.
So in your first successful launch, what was the cost per pound to orbit?
About $6,000.
$6,000. Okay, that's an improvement.
Yeah, not bad.
Not $100 a pound.
No. To get to $100 a pound, you need a big rocket that's fully reusable.
Are you there yet?
No. We're making progress, though. It's been 12 years. So far, we've not recovered a stage. But I think we'll recover a stage within the next year and be able to reflight.
Is there a date on your website where someone can say, he's going to land on
Mars? Good point.
That sounds like a no.
Well, I mean, I've said it publicly many times, although maybe we should put something on the website, which is that I think we've got a decent shot of being able to send a person to Mars in about 11 or 12 years.